They're hearing it?
No, that's okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Woohoo!
It's
Jean-Luc
Sunday night. Here we are. Don't know why I'm sounding like a robot, but I am. The voice that came out. I don't know why that voice came out, but it just did.
We don't know if the sound was sharing, so I just realized I'm like, maybe the sound's not sharing.
I'm not sharing sound right now.
That's okay. Oh, there we go, and we are back.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
I am Nick.
And I'm Jean-Luc.
And we are the Wellness Warriors. It says so on the sign right here behind us, as you can see. And
welcome to our new beach.
Yeah, we changed the beach this
Not
week.
nude. New,
everybody.
N-E-W. We are staying fully dressed in the show. Well, actually,
yes.
I might take this shirt off because it's hot in here. It's hot in here.
And you know what the song says, right? It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I want to take my clothes.
Just my shirt off. That's it.
Okay, enough of that. This is not that kind of show, everyone.
Exactly.
So we have a special guest tonight. So I'm actually going to spotlight her and bring her on.
But I dressed up for the occasion, Arlene. I wear my best tux, my best outfit. Let me
You look awesome. You look beautiful and handsome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I do realize after I went live, I was like, I don't think I shared the music when I started. That's okay. We came on and filled in the gaps after it started. So I think we're okay with that, right, hun?
Yeah, we're good.
We'll fix it in post, even though we don't really fix anything in post. But welcome, Arlene.
What you got. This is exactly who we are. Live, not live, at home, not at home. We don't change.
We're not perfect.
Definitely.
So, welcome, Arlene. So I wanted to give you a quick minute to just introduce yourself quickly, because I know a lot of people watch your interview. We just want people to know who you are, where you're from, and just a quick little introduction.
Sure. I don't know how much of a quick introduction you want, but okay. I'm Arlene, and I'm from Ottawa, the capital of Canada. I've been living in Ottawa most of my life, but I am a native Montrealer. And I have been following Jean-Luc and Nick since I switched from a digital membership with WW to a in-person workshops in June of 2019. And I've been on a wellness journey well before that, which my interview describes. It's not about just WW. It's about a whole mind, body, and soul journey. And that's a little bit about me.
And if you guys want to catch more about her journey itself, well, of course, we'll touch upon some of the topics and things we talked during the interview. But if you guys want to more in depth, it was a great interview. So if you've not seen it, go to YouTube, look for Have You Met Arlene, and you'll be able to watch her interview and it's well worth it. We've had a lot of feedback about how in depth, and a lot of people have been able to think about their own journeys based on what you've talked about as well.
And it's so funny because several people have said, I need to watch it again.
Yes.
I need to watch it again because there's so much information packed into that 38-minute video. And it's really even hard just to describe every single moment that happened. But a lot of things that you talked about, Arlene, during that video was about how, it was 5 months ago.
Yeah.
It was 5 months ago when we really think about it. And in these last 5 months,
things have changed.
So much has happened. Prior to the tonight's show, we were right before we went live, we were talking to Arlene and we were saying, you know what? 5 months ago, none of us were vaccinated.
Most of us
weren't vaccinated. Most of us weren't vaccinated. We were still living in a world of uncertainty. We still are living in a world of uncertainty, but now we're feeling a little bit more.
Things are happening.
We're seeing people seeing each other more. We're actually seeing people meeting up online more and posting pictures with other people outdoors, mind you.
Yeah.
And so it's insane how that has really impacted us right now in the last little while.
Well, I think so. The word of the week, and it was inspired by Arlene. The word of the week is transition. So the word of the week for your water and corn as well still counts. Corn is always a drinking water name.
That word was grandfathered in.
So in case people don't know, the word of the week means that every time the word is said, you take a sip of water and you increase your water intake for the week.
What a good co-host. I love this.
I love that. Ping. The more you know.
The more you know.
So a few notes that we want to share with you guys tonight. So you guys have noticed probably, where's Rosie? Rosie isn't here. Rosie's actually busy. She's busy. She actually she's working. She's actually had a picture on Instagram. She actually was in the paper too.
Newspaper
with,
well.
she's working on the campaign trail, actually, helping with all that. I don't even know exactly what she's doing because she's a woman of many traits and many things.
Many skills.
So, you know, if she's not here today, so if you want to send her a message, just say her hi in the group and she'll see it. She says she might pop in and watch us.
She might be watching with one eye
on her phone right now. So
yeah, I chatted with her a little before and she said she was sorry she's going to miss it, but she will watch the replay. So if you catch this, Rosie, hello, Rosie.
And the word of the week, again, just to reiterate, is transitioning.
Yeah. And the reason we brought it because it's kind of part of what we want to talk about today. So we were very honest yesterday. We posted how we've been a little underwhelmed, like not underwhelmed, but things are not feeling correct in our minds.
And it's really funny because it has nothing to do with the weight loss journey
at all.
It's not even
has nothing to do with that. And it was just things in life. And so it's kind of both of us yesterday did not feel well. And so when we realized, we just kind of said, okay, let's still try to be, we were strong together because at that point we were both kind of supporting each other both in the same way. So we went for a walk, we did our class, we went to the mall, we walked by Cinnabon and Manchu Walk.
And Starbucks, we resisted Starbucks.
Everything.
We resisted everything. We were doing so well.
Yeah, and then we came home and then we ordered some Freshie. We're like, oh, look how good we are. Freshie came, we ate it, and then 7 o'clock, Domino's Pizza. Yes, we also ordered pizza last night, plus breadsticks, plus
I did not know about the breadsticks.
Yes, you knew about the breadsticks.
No,
you knew
about the
Cinnabons. Cinnasticks.
I did not know about those.
And we ate it all. Yep. And last night, went to bed. I woke up even worse this morning in my own headspace, had class. So the reason we talk about transitions because we're being affected by what we like to call these seasonal change. I don't know if anybody else feels this out there, but as summer's coming to a close, I've gone through this for years. This has been something that's affected me for my entire life. I go through sessions where I'm mourning the end of summer. And that morning,
he's mourning it before it actually even happens.
Because I know it's coming. I can feel it already. The days are getting shorter. I can see school starting up and those signs like school's coming back. Like all the signs that fall is coming. We were walking yesterday. The leaves are starting to change slowly. So I started noticing things and that's what was affecting my mindset. And so to get out of it, I needed this guy here. And I think you want to talk about like what you kind of did with me this morning.
Yeah, well, I knew something was up with Nick. I felt much better waking up this morning. I woke up this morning refreshed. I was like, okay, I'm looking at things in a different light. We went to bed at 9:30 last night, which is a rare
I put my phone away
for Jean-Luc and Nick
yesterday for 24 hours, which is again another feat.
So went to bed. I woke up this morning and I'll be honest, there was a movie that I wanted to watch that I knew I would make Nick watch later, but I always vet our movies. And so I woke up, I did that. And I was like, I'll let you sleep. So I let him sleep. And then finally, when he woke up at 11, I knew something was up still. I could see it in his face and I could see it in his expression. And I said, okay, I don't want to pry, but I know he needs to talk. So I need to get him to talk. And the only way he said, oh, continue your movie. I'm like, no, I can watch my movie later. My movie can be paused. So we just sat there in silence for a few minutes. And I looked at him and I said, what's going on? What's happening? And he was honest. I said something to him earlier this week that it was not what hurt him, but it just added to everything. So he started with that first with me. And I was glad he told me because I did not realize I had said something. It was in the way I said something. I did not realize how I said it. And it wasn't even in my intention of doing it in a hurtful way. But if he would never have said it, I would never have known. So I apologized for that right away because that was not what I wanted. And then he started talking about so many other things. And he goes, it wasn't even that. That was just something.
It was last night. I didn't fall asleep till midnight. He said we went to bed at 9:30. I was in bed for 3.5 hours yesterday, just going through all. And I've talked about this in the past. I have anxiety. I have a lot of issues with that. So that was my head last night for 3 hours, just running through things, like all the things. And so when I got to talk to him this morning, I was able to finally just talk about all the things that were ruminating in my head for 3 hours last night. And when I was able to talk to him about it, it was vocalized. And I was somewhat able to let it go today. I went to class. We did our body step class this morning. I was able to work through it and just, I was a mess before class. Anthony even looked at me and said, do you want to cancel? And I said, no, I have to get it done because I had
offered to do the class alone. I said, hun, I can manage the class alone. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And he's like, no, I think I need it. And I need it.
After class, I could have just sat and we went for a walk. I forced myself to go for a walk. And you know what? All those things allowed me to just stop constantly going spiraling in my head, thinking about the same thing and over again. And that's what I want to talk about to you, Arlene, because this is something for you with transition as well. You talked to us this week that you went through a huge transition the last few weeks. Do you want to talk about that? Like what you talked to us?
Yeah. So actually, before we do that, I do want to say how I met you.
Okay.
Better.
Better.
I had been doing in this iteration of WW, which is a part of my journey, as you will see in my interview. I switched from a digital membership to an in-person one, and I walked in the studio June 16th, 2019. And there was this lady who was sort of reaching goal in lifetime. And she said to me, I started at your weight. And I said, well, what did you do? Like, I was so dejected. I didn't know what I was so upset with myself that I had reached this point with my weight. And so I turned to her and she said, well, stay within your smart points, drink your water, and follow the WW gaze. So I went home. No, now hang on. I'm a little old school here. I'm a little older than you boys. So listen up. There's a teacher in me. Okay. So I go home and I go,
I'm worried.
They said, so she said it was a Facebook page. And I go, okay, there's a Facebook page called WW Gaze. So what does that mean? Does that mean there's a Facebook page for Weight Watchers that means a place where you go to be happy and gay and so I come in the next week and she go, no. WW Gaze, gay, as in a gay couple. And I'm like, oh.
Now I get it.
So I just wanted to share that.
That's hilarious.
That is so funny. I love that you went with the happy. I love that when you went, well, it's for WW happy people. Like,
well, actually it is.
Yeah,
it is. That's basically what the group has become. It is a place for positivity. Yeah,
exactly.
So it is still the same name.
So just to pick up on what we were talking about, transitions, people, drink your water. I'm just gonna be a little honest here. I was in the greater Toronto area from August 11th to 14th. It was a very intense time. There were a lot of visits. It was the first time I usually go to Toronto multiple times a year, and I hadn't been. I was worried about driving the highways again, and highways west of Yonge Street. East of Yonge Street, I'm good. West of Yonge Street, not so good. And I was staying in the west part of Toronto. And so it was a very intense time. I met a couple of people for the first time. That was very emotional, but I didn't realize how emotional it was till I got back. And so I literally collapsed. I was emotionally and mentally exhausted. And this is similar to what it was after the retreat that you guys had in March, the Power of Three retreat, which I talk about also in the interview, if you want to listen to that. Very similar, mentally and physically, emotionally exhausted. So I really rested. I slept a lot Sunday and Monday. We didn't get back till midnight on Sunday night. And I thought, okay, it's taking a couple of days here. But then Wednesday, I didn't get up till noon. Now I hadn't done a body in 3 days. That's unusual for me. And then Wednesday, sorry, I got my days mixed up. I couldn't get out of bed. I was in bed.
And I want to point out to everyone, I want to point something that right down to everyone. Everybody watched Arlene's interview and you guys saw, oh, wow, she has everything put together. Even though you've made it, it does not mean that you're always going to have it. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you're never going to have moments where things revert back and then you have to recatch yourself and come back from what you're doing. I just wanted to make sure people understood that.
And for those that know me well, they know that I've gone through severe periods of depression in my life for very long periods of time. So when I was in bed all day on Wednesday, I was worried that I was going to fall back. And then Thursday came and it was our 20th wedding anniversary. And my husband, he's been my real rock of Gibraltar through this whole pandemic. He gently comes in. He always opens the blinds for me. He starts work at 6 a.m. in the morning. So he's up and going. And he opens the blinds for me. And he really helped me out of bed, literally took me by the hands. And then I was able to do a body. I was a little sluggish. But then I spoke to one of my sisters, and she said, you know, Arlene, this is par for the course. Every time you've come to Toronto and seen the family and the nieces and nephews, you always come back. You're a little sad. You're wondering when you're going to see them again. And that really affects me. And all my life, I've had trouble transitioning. So it's only the last 2 or 3 days that I've been really got a bit of my mojo back. After I talked to my sister, I was kind to myself and I said, you know what? Not everything's going to be on track this week. That's for sure. So I picked one thing I was good at, which is tracking. And I did that. But everything else, all the other Weight Watchers pillars, and for those of you that are not WW, those are sleep, mindset, activity, and nutrition. Everything was off this week. And transitions for people with mental health issues can be more difficult. And as I mentioned in the interview, I do suffer from a series of mental health issues. And it takes me time to transition. It's taken me almost a full week and getting back my routine. And routine is so, so important for
I honestly
for everybody.
But
and I want to add something to what you were saying there, Arlene. You were talking about the whole idea is that, okay, I'm focusing on tracking right now because that's what I can focus on. And that's where you felt you needed to because you hadn't been tracking in such a long time. But all the other pillars seem to still be okay for you. So as you said, you were letting them bounce because they were not as fragile. You felt your tracking was the most fragile part of your journey at this point in time.
That one.
And you're like, I need to work on this because this is the one that I feel I can gain control over maybe
right now
quicker.
first.
That's the one where I turn to my strength because tracking does a number of things for me. For those of you that don't know me, I am a math teacher, so I am a numbers person. So I double track, I track calories, and I track points with Weight Watchers. And what tracking does for me is it helps me focus in the present moment. And in this moment, I am well. That's what Oprah said last June. And tracking also helps me get back on track and get back on my routine. And it helps ground me in the present.
You know, what's funny? Ours is activity. Ours is our first thing. If we've gone for a while where we've just like kind of
we need to go back to activity.
Is activity that comes back for us because we know if we go for a walk, it makes us it invigorates us. It's like okay, let's eat a good lunch. Let's have a good dinner. Like it's kind of like it's a catalyst for other choices for us when we spring back. So your tracking is your catalyst to wanting to fix the other pillars.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And the other thing I want to reiterate, just a couple of things about mental health. It is okay not to be okay.
Yes.
Because, and you know what? I used to say that because that's been said a lot during the pandemic. But I was listening to my meditation that I listened to. It's called Recentering in Times of Uncertainty. And what she says is this: it's okay not to be okay because you will always find your way back home. And I thought that was really interesting, that comment. And whatever home is for you, right? Whatever gets you going again, whatever gets your mojo back, your energy back, coming back home and having faith that you'll get back there again, because we always get through it, no matter how hard it is.
And it took your sister to actually tell you, you've been here already, Arlene. You've already gone through this. A lot of times we don't even realize it ourselves. It has somebody else has to tell us that been there, done that.
Yeah, for 57 years. And she had to remind me again.
That
this is par for the course.
I think it's Rosalind. I'm seeing her nodding. It wasn't. It was Linda.
No, it wasn't Roz. It was.
Oh, you guessed wrong, honey.
I guessed wrong.
You guessed wrong.
But Roz reiterated it when we spoke, for sure.
But I relate to the transition thing because I have a huge issue with transitions. Seasons affect me every year. I know what it does, and I know that my brain just goes as much as a lot of the exercises we share with you all, like thinking positively, changing the words we use, is because it's a long-term journey that we've had, that we've realized that we both sometimes suffer from low self-esteem. We'll be honest. We both, for years, did not like ourselves. For years. And even to this day, we sometimes don't like ourselves. It still happens. Some days they just...
I posted that video of me making pasta in our dining room 4 years ago in the group. And I look at that video and I go, that was only 4 years ago. That was a very short time ago where I've gone from that person to who I am now. And I've changed a lot, although fundamentally I'm still the same person. But I've grown so much more.
And that growth was realizing that we have issues here. We have issues there. You explore your life and you realize, what are the patterns? What are the things that you see happen so often? Okay, I know this happens every fall. I know this. And so I prepare myself every year with tools and different things to do to try to get me through it. Doesn't always succeed. Doesn't mean that I always get through it and make it through without unscathed. Look at what happened this week. But before...
It was only a day.
It was only a day. Back in the day, sometimes it was weeks. Sometimes it was a month where I was in a downward spiral for days where I couldn't get out of it. I've learned tricks now. He's learned how to cope with me. And I think, Arlene, you were saying about your husband getting you out of bed. That's something you and your husband have learned throughout the years. He knows what you need in those moments to try to come and help you and do things, right?
Oh, totally. He knows me inside out. We may have celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, but we've known each other 42 years.
Yeah. I was going to say... You were together as a couple, like, for quite some time.
Well, we were friends for the
right?
longest time. Yeah. And so I wanted to touch on the fact that, you know, fall and winter has also historically been extremely hard for me. And I do mention that during the pandemic, for the first time, I did not go through a severe depression. And, I credit a lot of that to you guys and Antonetta for keeping things positive and very positive in those initial months of the pandemic. And the other thing about transitioning and mental health and everything is it's okay. I've realized it's okay not to be strong all the time. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be strong. That's when you lean on your family and your friends. That's when you lean on them. And the other thing about mental health, and I do want to stress this because I realize it more and more in the pandemic as there's been a lot more sharing going on in virtuals. Everyone you meet is fighting. This is from Robin Williams, like God bless his soul. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So always be kind to everyone you meet.
It's not a difficult thing to do. It isn't difficult to be kind. And I know I'll all have our moments of being judgmental. We all do. I'm not going to be.
I'm not an angel.
I'm nowhere near an angel.
I get angry.
I get upset. We say things that we don't mean. Like, look I said something to Nick earlier this week without even realizing that I was saying and it was hurting him. So how often do we say things without even thinking sometimes because we don't know what that other person is going through at that specific moment? And you could be saying something in the nicest way possible, but to them, they're not hearing those words.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Yeah. There's another thing I wanted to touch on because I do talk about the whole sort of process of this wellness journey. I never shared my weight loss in the interview. I'll do that now. I have released anywhere between 93 and 97.9 pounds. And I'm very proud of it. That's something very much to be proud of, but there are so many other things to be proud of along this journey. The activity, the non-scale victories, the being able to wear my wedding rings again, being able to get off blood pressure medication. I mean, it's all amazing. And I wanted to touch on that part in the video where it froze. And you had asked me about my why. So for those of you that are not WW peeps, you can have a why and not be on WW. Your why is asking yourself why you are on this journey of wellness. Really looking at that, and you enter it in your app. It's the first thing they ask you when you sign up for WW. So my why originally, this reiteration of the journey in 2018, I put in to eat healthy, to feel good, and to get stronger. Now, what happened was I was explaining at that point in the video that my why hasn't changed, but it's evolved. So to eat healthy has gone to a whole new level since I've been working with Kieran Bisoun, who I think, God bless her, is on here. I think
I saw her come in.
She
Yes.
is. If you could spotlight her for a minute,
No way.
that would be awesome.
If she wants me to. She's covering her head. Are you okay, Kieran? Can I spotlight you? Thumbs up. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Is she
Yes.
okay
Of course, we can spotlight
Just
her.
making sure.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about Kieran for a minute because I have, I wanted to eat healthy. So I thought, okay, fruits and vegetables. But Kieran's taken my level of eating to a whole new level and more plant-based. It's all about gut health. Gut balance, good and bad bacteria, anti-inflammatory foods. And I completely, almost exclusively moved away from processed foods. So I no longer have my Weight Watchers peanut butter baked protein bar. Kieran helped me develop a new recipe for that. She also, I don't only work on my eating, which has gone to a whole new level with her. I also work with her on affirmations, and I work on my mind and my soul as well. So I do a lot of affirmations, and she helps me create new ones when I need them. And she is just an amazing person. And she studied Ayurvedic medicine, which is, I don't know a lot about it, but it's good. Whatever it is, it's
and we can vouch because we've
been able to work with Kieran
on the Power 3 retreats, and we know she has a wealth of information. Some of the things that she suggested, we've actually replaced. We use Tamari exclusively now.
Yeah, me too.
Change some things that we've, because she's taught us. It's like, and that's the thing. It's about learning. A lot of us think we know. Oh yeah, I know how to eat. I'll eat a salad. Just take a salad. I'll just add this dressing to it. It's healthy. It says low cal right here, right? That's what the TV tells me. But it's a lot of stuff that we assume or that we were taught and that we don't really know.
Companies aren't out there to hurt us or harm us.
They're here to make money. I hate to say it.
And it's not like they do it intentionally.
No.
But there's a lot of things because it's processed and they need to make it last on factors that it's not going to go bad. And so that's why there's chemicals. And when you're eating and you're changing your entire perception on what food does to your body and how it actually is there to nourish you. Mm-hmm. And not only, and I love how Kieran talks about it, that it nourishes the inside, but it nourishes the outside and it nourishes your brain so much.
And let's not forget, we often, the brain, and I mentioned this last week, our brain is our biggest organ in the body. So let's take care of it.
Actually skin, but we'll let you go away with the brain. We'll give you the brain today.
Yeah. So Kieran has a couple of Facebook groups.
So
one, and I know a lot of people on here are on there, and so there's some great sharing that happens every Friday on Antonetta's page. She does Learning with Key. I can't remember the title of it, but 12:15 or 12 or 12:15 every Friday. She always does amazing tips. And then she has a group called Feed Your Joy. I think that's a paid group, but I know people that are on that get tremendous value from that. And then, like I said, I've been working with her one-on-one, and I can't speak enough about her. She has now had as much an impact on me as Antonetta, Jean-Luc, Nick, and all the special people in my life that I've met on this journey. So, Key, thank you.
So, Kieran, you want to say a few words after all that? Come on, you're honest. You're basically.
Oh my God.
So, how can people find you? We had a lot of people asking in chat how they can find you. So, what would be the best way to get a hold of you?
The they can find me. Thank you, first of all. I'm so, I love both of you, Jean-Luc and Nick, and I'm so excited for the future things that we'll be doing together. And
Definitely.
I feel so blessed that my sister Antonetta brought us together. I love how the two of you are changing the world. It is truly inspiring. So please do keep on doing what you're doing, because the world needs you both. And
thank you.
Linda F. and Arlene and Carol, they're all on here. And I can't remember who else I may have missed, who I work with on my one-on-one private coaching. Thank you so much for your love and your blessings. It's an absolute honor to work with such inspiring people. I mean, people call me all the time and say, oh, Karen, I was inspired to do this and this because you said that. But they don't understand that working with such incredible people inspires me every day to get up and to continue to do what I do. Because like everybody else, in the past, I use that sentence quite often, in the past, I suffered horribly with undiagnosed depression, suicide. I suffered with seasonal affective disorder for 30 years until I changed my diet, and I knock on drywall. It's been gone for 5 years, which is great. But I in the past, I would go through these months where I'm just not capable of doing much of anything, not enthused, have no energy, blah, 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 blah. And getting up was a real issue, and performing. And I was in sales. You don't perform, you don't get paid.
Exactly.
But I changed my lifestyle. I studied and I learned and I did and blah, 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 blah. And I'm a much, much better place. And so when I get to work with people like Linda and Carol and Arlene, and I see what they've achieved, it just is mind-boggling to me that I get to live this life, to be able to see, to witness this kind of greatness is just incredible to me. So thank you, ladies, for allowing me to be a small part of your life. And how can people find me? Always in the Antonetta group. You could just tag me on something and I'll show up. The Power of 3 retreats, tag me and I'll show up.
And she's also in our group as well. So if you want to find her in our group, just look for her in our group. She's there as well.
Shoot my name in there, Karen Bassoon, and I'll show up. And as Arlene mentioned, I do have my Facebook group, my free group, Eating to Heal. And then I have my membership group, Feed Your Joy, where I teach a class every single Friday. I have all my recipes in there. Somebody asked if I'm coming out with a cookbook. The cookbook's not going to come out this year. I have a book called Feed Your Joy that I will be publishing that has the foundation of what I want to teach. And then so that you understand, why are we eating this? Why are we doing this? Why are we breathing this way? Blah, 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 blah. And then the next book, which will be called Eating to Heal, will be strictly recipes. So then you understand, why am I using these ingredients? How can I benefit from these?
Love that.
I love that.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, we'll be selling that book for you. We'll be promoting all the way.
It's kind of like segues into something I wanted to talk about today, because we posted in the group. We are looking for ghostwriters right now for an idea we have ourselves of something. And Kieran, you did reach out to someone. We're actually going to meet with Catherine.
Awesome. She was my ghostwriter when I started the company. And I chose Catherine because she sounds like me. And I think when you're looking for a ghostwriter, that is the most important thing.
So today we met with someone someone who a follower of ours, his son, messaged us about he's a ghostwriter, and we actually had a meeting with him today, and it was great. Like, the connection was there. So we have a few people lined up, but it's funny that it's like, talk about books. Like, we're in the process of doing the exact same thing, of starting that whole new venture of creating our story and creating, sharing some of the stuff we've learned, because we know we've learned some stuff that's not written somewhere right now, like the way we use our words, the positivity words, all that stuff. These are things that we've come up with, and we want to really flesh it out and put it in a book form so people can read it instead of watching our videos. Because I know sometimes watching videos over and over again gets annoying.
And I love what you said, Karen, and making sure someone's writing it that understands your voice. And I think that's what happens, is we all have a voice, and everybody's voice needs to be represented, no matter what part of what community you are in. you need to have a voice. Everybody, it's their right. Everybody's right to have a voice.
And so thank you so much, Kieran, for joining
Thank
us
you.
tonight. I'm so glad you're here. It's fun. It's like
I can't wait to see you soon. Wink,
know.
wink, wink.
I know, eh?
Wink, wink, wink.
I'm hungry.
Lunch will be ready for you.
For lunch.
Yay!
See you soon, Kieran. So go
so
ahead,
that was-
Arlene.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, so that was one part of my why that, as you see, has just expounded. And I look forward to my sessions with Kieran every week. And the next part of my why, to feel good. So I'll put that on pause. But the third part was to get stronger. And initially it was to get stronger physically, right? But that has gone so much more into the mental health part, mental strength, mental fortitude, being strong in your mindset. Like I think Sergio and Kevin have a t-shirt on their group called On a Fun Journey, bulletproof mindset, right?
We have it. We have it.
You
Yes,
have it.
he's gonna go. He's running to get it right now.
Yeah, because we know those of us that have been on this journey through the vehicle of WW, we know that mindset is probably one of the, there it is, beautiful. Mindset is one of the most important things to work on this journey. Oh, he's showing it to Facebook.
To Facebook.
YouTube. So mindset is just critical. And like Leslie said, that is Kevin's motto always, bulletproof mindset. If you want to hear some inspiring people, let me tell you, I talk about them in my video. Ashley and Kevin are just so inspiring. And while we're on that topic, there are people on here that have inspired me tremendously as well. First and foremost, my sisters, my brother. But I made a list of all the coaches that I met through you guys that have inspired me. And not all of them could be here today, but there's a couple. I think Dave's on here, and Leslie's, I hope, is on here as well, I think. And one special mention, there's a whole list here. Anna, Dave, Chris, Sergio, Jana, Antonetta, Leslie, Patricia, Tom, Sharon, Paula, Effie, Larry, Rennie, Susan. Oh, I think Susan might be on here. And Tony Cooley. I want to talk about Tony for a minute because he unfortunately left WW, but he had a real impact on me and helped me through a lot of things when I was going through the maintenance part of this journey, and I was struggling with that. He was unbelievable. So Tony, if you're watching this on a replay, thank you. Thank you for your support and your inspiration. All these coaches have inspired me so much. And I just wanted to, I made a list of all of them. I hope I didn't miss anybody.
And I'm sure if anybody was missed, I understand that it's hard to get everybody's name. Like we sometimes, it's funny because we do our step classes and we actually, as people log in, Jean-Luc writes down everybody's names on whiteboards because throughout the class, you want to call your names out. We want to encourage you guys. You know, it's like being in a real class. If I see Arlene back in the corner, I'm like, hey, Arlene, let's go. But we can't do it in Zoom because we see ourselves. So it's very hard to call out people when we can't see anyone. So we actually write out the names, but sometimes like we miss names because people are joining as we're doing the class. So we feel bad. But I think everybody understands that you're trying your best. If you can't get everyone, and make sure to mention every single name.
I'm a firm believer, and this is one thing. I believe everybody does things with good intention. I try to make sure that I believe that no one really wants to do things
to hurt others.
As
most people. I believe in that.
I truly believe a lot of people do a lot of hurt. We get hurt a lot, and it's not because that person meant to hurt us, but sometimes we're already hurting, as we said earlier, and we don't know how to take it, and we don't know how to understand it. And sometimes we need to talk about these things.
So one of the things
and forgiveness is about letting go of the hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
one of the things that you guys might have noticed today is there was no weigh-in video posted anywhere.
We went live
yesterday, but we never posted the video because we are transitioning our weigh-ins. We are changing it up. We liked back in the day when Jana did the whole let's not weigh in for a month kind of idea.
We've never done that before.
We are not going to weigh in for the month of September. We are taking a whole month where we are not even going to scale. We're not even going to use the scale. We're just going to live our journey and just walk through it, doing the best we can. In October, we will weigh in again, but it'll come back in a different way. We won't be doing it the way we were doing it before. We always transition and change things on you guys.
Yeah. And
we
not only that, we also think it's good for us to take on different transitions,
different things,
learn different things about this journey. If you do the same thing over and over again, and it becomes repetitive to the point where you get bored out of it, or it's so repetitive that you're not even enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
You need to.
So we will still share our weights.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't mean that like we're not waiting for September, but when we start going back in October, we will share our weights again and start weighing in again. It just won't be the exact same way as we're doing it nowadays. And so we're just warning guys. And there's also another change. This is on September 12th. There will be no more Beachside chats because it's becoming Campfire Side Chats. Woo! We didn't want to make it as long as last time when we scared all you guys in the spring by saying the Fireside Chat had been canceled for the Beachside Chat. But yes, we are transitioning to Campfire Side Chat in September because, again, seasons are changing. We're trying to match up with there won't be any more tank tops and flip-flops and sunglasses.
We'll be roasting fake marshmallows on
the
campfire
instead. Exactly.
Fake marshmallows.
So I want to make sure to call out those things.
Karen knows a recipe for some really healthy marshmallows, but I don't think those. She does.
Today is also a very special day. Did you want to talk about that?
I did want to talk about that, and well, there's two things that happened today. So 9 years ago today, on August 22nd, Jean-Luc and Nick decided that they were adopting these two little babies. We met them today, 9 years ago. We went to Hamilton.
And there's a picture in our group right now with us holding them as kittens in our hands. So if you want to see that picture, go to our Facebook group. It's up there. And it was a huge change in our life. They're such a big part of our lives. And then what else happened 2 years ago?
2 years ago on this day, we had officially announced that we sold our house and we're moving to this condo.
So this day has a huge significance
which we didn't realize.
Because
and then now having Arlene here with us today, which was an amazing interview. Also meeting with the ghostwriter that we met with today, who really had an impact.
A huge impact on us today.
Yeah, like we were not expecting the conversation we had with him and how forthcoming he was with us, which, you know what? I think you need to build that trust when you're allowing somebody into your life.
Especially because we're going to be talking about some deep stuff about our past. And so we have to trust the person we're going to be working with. So it's just great that we had such a great conversation with him today. And we told him we're meeting with a bunch of people. Right now, we don't want to say we'll pick one person because we probably get along with all of them. We'll pick the right fit for us and we'll see what happens. Yes, this book will probably might have recipes in it. It's going to have some different things in there.
It'll be a variety book.
And so we wanted just to share that. And Jean-Luc, you want to talk about the slushy recipe yesterday?
Yes, everybody was asking about that slushy recipe that we made. We wanted slushies. We literally wanted, like, I'm a 7-Eleven fanatic. Like, Slurpees were my thing. When I met Nick and his family, I'd be like, slushy, and I'd annoy them until they'd stop me at 7-Eleven and get me a slushy. Right? You remember that?
Yeah.
But all I did is I took ice from my ice cube, our ice maker. I threw it in a blender. I added water to it as I was going along, and I used strawberry water enhancer.
0 point slushy.
And I just blended it until it became a slushy. That's all I did.
And it was delicious.
And it worked.
It worked. So
I did add 5 fresh strawberries, and no, I did not count them as points. There was 5 between the two of us.
It was like splitting hairs at that point. And then we had pizza later, so it's splitting hairs at that point. So Arlene,
yes.
Question for you. So you did the non-weighing in you were doing this with Jana when you were doing, I think you were still in your weight loss period when you were trying to, you skipped weighing in for a few weeks with Jana. You were drinking water instead of weighing in, right?
So no, that transitioned me from not weighing every day to weighing every week. Oh, transition. There we go.
I knew it was going to happen a lot tonight.
We were doing the water instead of weighing challenge last summer. And from that point on, Jana and I have become really good friends. So, hey, shout out to Jana, because I know she's watching this on the replay. She's one of my amazing coaches. And so we were doing the water instead of weighing challenge. And the purpose was to distract ourselves from the scale. And so to only weigh once a week instead of every day or multiple times a day and not obsess about it. And from that point on, I only weigh once a week now. If you talk to Chris Neville, another amazing coach, and I know he is also being interviewed by Jean-Luc and Lick, he only weighs in once every 4 weeks, because scientifically, our bodies change so much from week to week. I mean, really, to get a real good gauge, 4 to 6 weeks. Now, wait, WW says it's interesting because the topic this week with WW is all about our relationship with the scale. And so some people, it's up to you. Some people weigh every day. Some people weigh once. I'm once a week.
And that's right there why, and like Arlene, that's why we're trying to do this month, because we always talk about in our weigh-in videos how we don't care about the scale. And someone at one point pointed back out to us, but you weigh in every week. Why are you, if you don't care about the scale, why are you weighing in? So we're basically putting kind of that, we're putting that spin on it. We're challenging ourselves to say, can we actually not weigh ourselves
And
once
be okay
in a month
with
of
it.
September and be okay with it and not falter from what we're already doing?
Yeah.
October 1st or whatever day, the first Saturday weigh-in day will be in October. We'll weigh ourselves and we'll see what happened. And that's for us. It's this life.
It's October 2nd.
October 2nd. Okay. Thank you, honey.
You're
But that's the thing. For us,
I know our calendar.
we used to be scale obsessed. Arlene, Jana used to be scale obsessed. They did a challenge to try to reduce that obsession for themselves. It worked. We no longer have that much of a scale obsession.
Well, it's a different type of
It's
obsession.
a different type of obsession.
It's a different type of obsession because we're like, oh, we still have to weigh in this week. We have to weigh in this week. So it's not maybe tied to the number.
It's tied to the event.
It's tied to the event.
Whereas
Yeah,
I don't want.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I was going to say what I did when I came back from Toronto. I intentionally, for the first time in over 2 years, did not weigh myself last weekend because I knew I'd be up and I didn't want to put myself through that, and I didn't want to beat myself up. So I gave myself some kindness, some grace, some compassion, some self-love. And like, I just wanted to say, my coach Leslie just put in chat here, Lois is the name of her scale.
Yep.
And please forgive me if I'm wrong, Leslie. I think it's lack of interesting statistics. Is that what it stands for? I think.
I
And
believe so.
Leslie says, put it in the corner, give it a timeout if you need to.
Yeah. Lack of important statistics. That's what it stands for.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Leslie.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this for us. It's like we're trying to, we have been obsessed with our bodies and our weight and our scale for decades. And I think a lot of us can relate to this. We've been obsessed with it forever. We're trying to see, can we live a month without having to rely on that machine? We've been on it. Even though we don't care about it, we don't care about the number, we still have done it diligently every Saturday for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to remove. We're trying to say, why are we so obsessed with that specific? And I know we're WW members, we weigh in every week. Yes. But right now we're lifetimers. We're above our goal. So no matter what, we're paying anyways. Doesn't matter what. And as a lifetimer, you're supposed to weigh in once a month. So why are we still doing this every week? Why are we still obsessed with that weekly weigh-in? So we're trying to break that obsession.
Well, and it's funny that WW even says weigh in once a month. You can weigh in weekly if you want, but as a lifetimer, they want you to realize that it's not about the weight and the scale.
Yeah.
It's about
to watch
how
what you're
you
doing.
feel.
You can't just let yourself.
It is life. It is for life. That's why it's called lifetime.
And I don't even know if I like that term. I'll be honest with you, because it is. I think and that's my personal opinion. I think lifetime just seems so. There has to be a better way of saying.
Well, you know what, and I do say this in my interview. Reaching goal and lifetime with I mean, that's wonderful. And it's a moment in time. It's something to be very proud of, but it is a moment in time. Nothing changes after that time. You still have the same struggles. You still have your binges. You still have to deal with life, and you have to learn how to maintain.
There's no magic wand, right?
There's no magic wand here. Exactly. Yeah, the bonus is you don't pay. And that is a big bonus for a lot of us. But the journey is no different before or after. It's just as hard. And I'm hoping we can bring in Patricia for a minute.
That's exactly that. I was spotlighting her as you were saying
as
that.
you were saying that, we're like, let's bring Patricia in.
I told you we're in sync today, guys.
I was already, my mouse was already there, which is kind of funny that you said that. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, guys. Hi, Arlene.
How are you?
Hi, Patricia.
Awesome. I am great. I
want to give Patricia a little highlight because I know she went through something quite an experience of a lifetime, meeting her biological brother, if I'm not mistaken, and her sister-in-law and her family last week. And it was so heartfelt and touching to see the pictures you posted and the joy in your eyes. in every single picture you posted, there was this glow that I cannot even tell you, that was just so warm. And so I don't think I've ever seen you this happy. Like there was a happiness that you were expressing, and it was so heartfelt and so happy for you right now ourselves, Patricia. So love you.
I love all of you. And I can't stop being emotional, but it's good emotions. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who is here. I could feel the love on my drive, like going to Swan River. That's my first long road. It was about 5 hours and 20 minutes. And it was a long drive for someone who's not used to doing long drives by yourself. But my brother sent me a pinned GPS because they don't have an address because they have the farm. And you know what? It was the best. And Siri was awesome. And it was better directions than Google. Anyways, I could feel your love, everyone, because I asked everyone to keep me in your prayers. And Jean-Luc, I saw your little hearts pop up I was already on the road. And that was very special. I could feel all of you with me. And as I transitioned into my new life of having my bio family, it was amazing. When I arrived and drove in, I just sat there for a few minutes. I'm just, and Vicky was the first one I met, and all my WW peeps will relate to this. I got out of the car and I was just wearing a tank. Well, I think you saw a picture of what I was wearing because I didn't change outfits when I was with Darren. I got out and I stood up and she was just coming out the door. She's there, holy shit, you are way smaller in person than you are online.
That's too funny.
That was the first thing she said to me. She says, holy shit, you look fabulous.
I love that.
I know, so did I. And anyways, every moment was so magical. And you know what? We got to talk a lot. Darren kept me to himself on day one. We went and surprised him at work. You saw the picture. That was overwhelming, beyond overwhelming. I have to say, it was like coming home, which is crazy. I never felt so comfortable in a new place. And, you know, like every day we would meet people, and he even he's a farmer, a very, very busy farmer. He spent 3 hours with me on Thursday because Vicky was not feeling well and was in bed. And everybody kept saying, Darren, do you know what time it is? Like, it's still light out. What are you doing? Like, we have to go into Swan and do a few things. He said, well, this is Patricia, my sister, and Vicky's not feeling well, so we're doing stuff. And they do a double take, and they'd look at me and they'd look at Darren, and they say, well, how come we don't know about her? Because she sure looks like you. And, you know, anyways, I just want to tell everybody what's so important. Never, ever, ever be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Like, just think about it, everyone. Yes, they're my family. I've never met them before. I went on a road trip by myself with all your love, and I stayed with people I'd never met in person. And do I regret it? No. Just say yes. And I thanked Antoinetta when I got back. I did a post on her page because there was a time before where I wouldn't be comfortable.
Said no.
Yeah.
You know,
I was always a no person too. Like, oh, you want to do this? No, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's Arlene, for you too, that kind of coincides with you too. Were you always a no person most of the time?
Actually, I still think I am partly
No,
a no
not right
person.
now.
I'm very cautious, and I think partly because I'm getting older now. I'm in the latter part of my life. I'm careful about what I say yes to. But am I willing to take risks still? Yes, I am. But careful, calculated risks.
But I think that's a difference between always. It's not we're saying always say yes. There's certain risks in life that are worth saying yes to, and there's some that are not worth saying yes to. Like if someone's saying you, I want to go jump out of a plane, but you have zero interest jumping out of a plane.
Don't jump out of a plane.
Don't go jump out of a plane. It's not something you would do. But if someone asked me and him to go jump out of a plane that we've always wanted to do, we'd be like, yes. Sign us up. Where are we going? Because that's something we want to do. And that's the thing. You have to find it. Mind you, it wasn't something we wanted to do when we were heavier. I don't want to see myself flying out of the sky when I was 300 pounds. I didn't want to see that happen. Now that I've lost my weight, I want to do that because it's something I love being able to live life. And I know people say, wow, but that's dangerous. Things happen all the time. You can walk down the street, get hit by a car. There's danger everywhere, but you can't be afraid of living your life in fear of something might happening. Like we were very vocal. Everybody's been aware of, we've been isolating for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, because we were exposed to COVID.
Last Monday, we were exposed to COVID.
It'll be 14 days as of tomorrow.
As of tomorrow, it's 14 days, no symptoms. We're fine. But the thing is that we could have taken the whole situation a different way. We could be like, okay, we're never going outside anymore. We're not making plans. We're done. We already, the first time we go see people, we already possibly catch it. No. Life, you have to live your life. There's risk in every single day.
You need to learn how to transition on the speed of a dime.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to go with the flow. And that's what transition almost sounds like sometimes. It's sometimes where you just say, I can go right or left, and I'm going to have to make a choice. I have to make a choice. And what you do is you have to learn from the choices that we make.
Yeah. And also transitioning for me is also transitioning from one activity to another and letting go of the previous activity so that you can move forward. And that's part of resilience, I think.
Yeah,
I talk about that in my video as well, that resilience is the ability to bounce back and move forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Patricia,
Thank
for
you,
sharing.
Patricia,
we'll
for
talk to you
sharing.
after Zoom, after the live feed. We'll bring you back.
Because I have one more thing to
Oh,
say.
sure. Go ahead.
Back to WW, and thank you, Arlene, for including me in your special moment tonight. The metal monster, everybody knows who I'm talking about. Sarah mentioned it. I'd like to put a challenge out there. If Jean-Luc and Nick can stay away from the scale for a month, I'd like to challenge all of us to join them in September.
Wanda said it in chat. Wanda said in chat that she's going to join us in September.
So originally it was supposed
to be us.
Don't forget, we're still going to do tracking because tracking is still important.
The only thing we're going to stop doing is we're not going to weigh in. Of course, if you're in this area,
so it'll be member to track, but forget to scale,
to weigh in, to scale. But the thing is that for people who have to still weigh in because of your WWE membership, yes, please don't stop going like, Jean-Luc and Nick told me not to weigh in. I'm okay. No. If you need to weigh in because you're a member and you're trying to follow, yes, please weigh in. We're saying if you are at Lifetime, if you're at a point in your life where you don't want to weigh in every week, if you want to join us on this journey, please, yeah, for sure. Of course, we'd love to have support.
We already know people right now. And I think Ashley from Ashley and Kevin, she's always said, I haven't been weighing in right now because it's not
for months. Ashley hasn't weighed in for months.
It's not part of her journey. She's not made that a priority in her journey, which is, I love the fact that she's found that liberation of saying, this is my journey and I'm going to include what I need to include to feel good about my journey.
Yeah. And Ashley is all about self-love. And I want to say that is a huge part of this journey.
And Susan just shared in chat, you can weigh in at WW and ask not to see the weights.
Yes.
So there you go. If you even need to keep your membership going,
Susan.
Just go weigh in. Tell them, I don't want to see.
I'm
doing a challenge right now not to see my weight for the month. And
that would even be a stronger challenge, not to go in and weigh yourself.
What if we weigh ourselves like this? Take a picture and then walk off and then like, okay, can I look at the picture now?
No, I'll look at Nick's weight. He'll look at mine, and we're not allowed to tell each other for the month.
I can't hold that long from him.
We can't hold secrets from each other.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for joining us tonight.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for sharing
much.
your story
Thanks,
too.
Patricia.
So Arlene, it's already the end of the hour.
I know you had some quotes that you wanted to share, and I wanted to give you those moments to share your quotes.
I think I covered them. I just
wanted to make sure.
I'm going to say them again.
Please.
Guys, it's okay not to be okay.
I love it.
You will find your way back home. And remember that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So please be kind to one another. And the last thing I'm going to say is the last part of my why evolved, and it was to be strong and as independent as my mother was. And my sister Roz pointed out to me at the beginning of the show that now that I've lost all my weight, I look more and more like my mother. which I will take as a pure blessing.
Aw.
And I will end my signing off saying that my parents are with me in my heart, and they are my strength.
They're watching.
Aw.
They
I
know.
love that.
They know.
And I love that your two sisters were here to share this moment with you tonight, Rosalind and
Well, Belinda's first time we actually
Belinda as well.
meet
Hi,
her.
Belinda.
Rosalind, we met before we left, and we recognize her by face now. Like when she walked down
Yeah.
the street, like, oh, that's Rosalind.
That's Rosalind.
Yeah, like we know her now.
That's
Yeah, so thank you so much, Arlene, for not only agreeing to do the interview, to do the fireside chat, because it is a commitment for people. You have to sit down with us, talk with us for a bit. We have to send emails to you, organize it all.
It
edit
is
it all.
an honor. It is an honor and a pleasure to be interviewed by these guys. They make it so easy. They
Aw,
make it
thank
so
you.
easy. You guys know how much you mean to me. You know how much you mean to all these people in the Zoom room, and you are loved and supported as you support us.
Likewise, Arlene.
Thank you so much, Arlene.
Likewise, Arlene.
Oh wow, I'm like all like flustered and everything now.
This show, this hour always brings us. what
Devin, we will
need.
talk to you right after we're done the live feed, okay? So don't put your hand down. Yeah, I know. I want to hear about your steps. I want to hear about your steps you got for us this week, okay?
This show gives us what we need every single week. It starts our week off on the right foot.
Yeah.
It makes us believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
We hope it makes you believe that you can do it as well, because it's all about starting. It's starting that one thing is taking one step, just one step, not trying to finish everything in one day, because nothing was built in a day, right?
So I want to share with everybody a few announcements before we end the show tonight.
Yep.
So the first thing I want to share is that we will be launching a Body Step Volume 3.
Welcome to the movies.
And welcome to the movies. It'll be launched on September 11th. And I have right here for you guys, I'm going to share a little clip. There's no music to it because YouTube doesn't like us sharing the music. So I'm just going to share you a clip of some of the moves coming up in
We'll
Volume
sing.
3. We'll sing.
Watch.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
What a feeling.
Tis believing. I can't have it all till I'm dancing for my life.
It's your passion
and make it happen.
I don't remember the rest of the words
You
anymore.
can come alive. You can something like that. Anyways, yeah.
That was so bad.
Body Volume 3, Step Volume 3 is coming out September 11th. The music is all from the movies, so we are excited. We have added some new moves. We are so excited. We've had two people try this volume. My mom, because my mom is our practice person. She's the one that tells us you should change this, and so my mom watches practices with us. But also, our friend Melanie Bells has tried it, and she said she can't wait to do the class with us again.
Live. Yes,
So-
exactly. So that's coming out. We also have a new video, one of our favorite things coming out, and it comes out on.
It already came out
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Never mind. It was yesterday. I'm in rewind, and it was our favorite things on Nor concentrated broths.
Yes. So that's
And they have three new flavors.
yeah, Thai, Moroccan, and Indian, and we love all of them. They were delicious.
Yummy.
And then the next thing that we want to talk about is we also have step classes this week, Thursday at 6:30 p.m., next Saturday at 10 a.m., or Sunday at noon.
Volume 2 is coming back.
Yeah, Volume 2
We
for
are
this
coming
week.
back with Volume 2.
New recipe next Saturday. We have a new recipe coming out. It's been a long time. And I think, Kim, you tried it, didn't you? You tried it, Kim,
Did you
right?
make it, Kim? No,
No,
she
okay.
wants to make
She
it.
wants to
said,
make
She
it.
said Peanut Gallery might even eat it.
So it's our meatball sub recipe. We actually did a video on pictures on this a few weeks ago, and the recipe is actually coming out next Saturday. It's a delicious recipe. My mom had it with us. It was
yummy.
Yes, it was delicious.
Very yummy.
We also have on September 4th, Do We Like the Way It Tastes? Sensible Portions Garden Veggie Puffs.
Garden veggie puffs, and we love them so much. They're almost like our Cheetos that we love so much. They're amazing. They're really good.
Exactly. And then we also have what's the tip? The Forever Method. So we talked to you guys before about our Forever Method. This time we actually have a video for our Forever Method coming out on September 11th, the same day as Volume 3 starting.
Yeah, and then also on September 18th, we have a new recipe, our samosas, Jean-Luc's version of what a samosa is, lower in points.
And then September 25th, Nisha.
In the air fryer. Nisha's not in the air fryer.
No. Nisha's our guest.
The samosas.
Well, Nisha's our interview for Have You Met on September 25th, and then she'll be our special guest co-host on October 2nd. 3rd?
Yes.
Oh, I might have the wrong date on there. I might have to
Yes.
fix that. 3rd,
Yes.
whatever when the Sunday
The
is.
first is the Friday, the second is the Saturday, the third is the Sunday.
Anyways, you'll find all the information for all this on our Facebook group, Jean-Luc and Nick, the Wellness Warrior VI Peeps, or our page, Jean-Luc and Nick, the Wellness Warriors. You can find us on all social media using @the or our website, jeanlucandnick.com.
I'm right.
We have our new shop, jeanlucandnick.com/shop. We also have our recipes, jeanlucandnick.com/recipes. And you can also send us some mail. Jean-Luc loves getting letters. We got an amazing email this week, everyone, from a lady. I'm not going to say the details because I don't know if she's allowing us to share any details, but she sent us a beautiful email. She's reached Lifetime and just talk about how we were influential in her journey. It warms our hearts to hear that kind of testimony. If there's something you guys want to write to us and you're okay with us reading on air, if you want to write us a letter, you want us to read it on air, please send it to us. We love getting mail and give different things. And it's so enjoyable just to see what people, how they change their life.
We love seeing that.
We love seeing that.
It's a huge impact. Like Kieran said earlier, when she gets to work with people, this is how we feel the same way. When we see people make changes in their lives and have believing in themselves, that is the hugest thing.
Amazing.
To see someone finally believe in themselves that haven't believed in themselves in such a long time, it is inspiring to every single one of us. So
we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a great night, and we will see you next Sunday. And now
we have a busy week next week, too.
I know we do. We have a lot of interviews and people to see, and we have guests coming over.
Yeah, we have a visitor.
Yeah.
I know.
Have a great night.
Bye,
We're dancing the night
Bye,
away.
Facebook. I always forget Facebook is still there.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube. Was on his shoes.
We're back. I'm just gonna